Well, we are now finished with Iowa caucuses and the New Hampshire primary, and everyone has dropped out of the GOP running except Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. And Nikki is hanging on by a thread since Trump has obliterated everyone, including Nikki, in the first two contests. And with everyone else dropping out, heck, I thought about dropping in just for the fun of it. But then my wife threatened to shoot me, my kids said they would disown me, and my dogs threatened to bite me. So I woke up from that nightmare and forgot all about it. I will say something about running for office. Most people don't understand if they've never done it. It is harder to get out of a race than it is to get in one. It really is. Oh, sure, entering a race takes long, thoughtful consideration of the time that's going to be consumed, the money, the lost income it will cost, and the friends who will never speak to you again. But getting out is even more painful, because after giving months, sometimes more than a year, going full speed in campaign mode, living out of hotels, eating every meal out of a paper sack on one's lap in a moving vehicle, and surviving on cold pizza and hot soft drinks, it's hard to up and say, that's enough, I quit. For me, ending the 2016 campaign for president, well, it was a little easier, since I did drop out due to illness. You know, I don't know if you know this or not, but I had to get out because of illness. Turned out the voters were sick of me. But when the contributions quit coming in, it's really hard to go forward when the tank is out of gas. You feel like you're letting down those folks who came alongside you. But you also know there comes a time when you realize that whatever reason, it ain't happening. There were 14 or more candidates who got in the Republican primary to begin with this cycle, and all of them have dropped out except Nikki Haley. All but two of them have gone on to endorse Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the first ever president to be under indictment as he runs to reclaim the office that he held for 4 years and might still be holding if there had not been extreme election interference by a collusion that involved the media, social media giants, and the deep state, whose agencies, such as the FBI, DOJ, CIA, and others, actively worked to destroy the Trump presidency even before he took the office and throughout his 4 years as the elected president. Now, most Americans know this, and it's why that when he gets indicted by another crazed and ambitious political prosecutor, his support and approval level goes up immediately. In fact, if he faces even more of these contrived indictments shoveled out by the current administration and its minions, he might be elected in the biggest landslide since Reagan beat Mondale in 1984. He might. Unless Joe Biden forgets he's running and spends Election Day eating ice cream or vacationing on the beach, it's starting to look like a replay of the 2020 election. Democrats call it the beginning of endless days and nights of voting and finding ballots in mailboxes, under tables, and in warehouses, as well as in boxes trucked in like UPS boxes at my house during Christmas. But Joe might not be able to sit in his Delaware basement this time and occasionally mosey out to a deserted parking lot to yell at a few people in their cars like he did last time. He might actually have to do events and campaign. And if so, we might hear inspiring words like this.
We'll teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit. Toyota, Volkswagen, Nissan, Tulsa.
If I have all three of them on my side, I don't worry about anything.
Beer brewed here, it is used to make the brew beer in this refinery.
Yeah, you know, it ought to be quite a ride, really. And this week, President Biden said that all the people who vote for Trump are a threat to democracy. So there you go. It's not an open border that's a threat to democracy, not the abuse of government agencies to prosecute political opponents. It's not making up false stories about your political opponent and getting the media and big tech companies like Facebook, Google, and YouTube to censor any good stories about Trump or making diversity more important than readiness in our military. Nope, that's not a threat to democracy. All that's fine. But voting for Biden's political opponent, that is a threat to democracy. Heck, and all along, I thought voting was democracy. Hey, Mike Huckabee here. Listen, if you love your mom, apple pie, and being conservative, you know you ought to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and click the like button and show all the leftists out there that conservatives are thriving and patriotism is far from dead. Am I pandering too much? No way. I'm just getting started.